PM Lee focused the government's approach to social safety nets and providing sustainable support to those who need it most.
He said that as a matter of principle, social safety nets should be paid for out of current revenues.
After several generations of frugal prudence, we have built up significant reserves. And because we have taken such an approach consistently, decade after decade, in this enormous monster storm, we've been able to draw on past reserves and fund our essential budget packages and help people on a very big scale. Now the opposition says, show me how much we have in the reserves before I decide whether I support your budget and tax plans. Let's have a look at the money. Basically, they're asking, I have something in the bank already. How much of that can I touch? This was not the attitude of our forefathers, the founders who were building for the future, but the attitude of inheritors who think they have come into a fortune and want to consume the fruits of their predecessors' labors. And this is fundamentally the wrong approach.
So Zakir, on the topic of the revenue, now leader of the opposition, Pritam Singh, spoke after PM Lee's speech to clarify the opposition's position. What do you make of this exchange between PM and Mr. Singh?
I think, this reflects, sort of almost, I wouldn't say unbridgeable, but I think the two different positions expressed. I think PM said, well, we have these reserves and we can't divulge the size for, safety reasons. But I think Mr. Singh said, they felt, the opposition felt it was needed. They felt that, more information on the reserves was needed for them to at least make informed decisions. I think you're not going to see this bridged anytime soon.
Right. Well, on the subject of social safety nets, what was PM Lee's broader message on that topic?
I think two key points. One is the fact that COVID-19's really, PM's point was that, really the best assurance, the best form of unemployment insurance, the best form of social safety net is really the assurance of a job and an actual job. But at the same time as COVID-19 has disrupted many industries and sectors, there is a need for social safety nets to be enhanced. And I think, you've got a slew of measures in place currently with COVID-19. After the pandemic's over in maybe a year or longer, I think some of these will still need to be adjusted. And I think that there is a need for Singapore to seriously consider some of these. PM also made the point that I think we're not ideologically bound to any concept or scheme, but one key approach is, I think, to make sure that whatever measures you take are sustainable and viable